Okay, so let's go ahead and go over how to make a CodePen post. Again, HTML and CSS and JavaScript are all languages. The best way to learn a language is to dive right in. The other thing that we want to be able to do is understand how our content is being marked up. HTML is hypertext markup language. And so we want to see how we turn content into a language that is marked up. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and make a post. Okay, to first have a post, you're going to make sure that you have upgraded to the billing, third time, upgraded to the billing. Go ahead and make sure that you switch to the monthly billing under the purple plan, the developer plan. And I believe that is $19 a month for the 3 months for the quarter. And that will allow you to make posts and have other things that we'll talk about later on. So now that we're on the developer plan or better, we can make a post. So to do that, you just go to the CodePen homepage and click on post, or just expand the sidebar, click on post. First thing we're going to do is title our post. In this case, we're just going to title it with our name. Next thing we should do is begin to answer some of these questions. But before we do all of that, I just want you to make sure that you have the URL structure for this. So for this to work, go ahead and simply mash down your keyboard and hit save. And immediately your post is made. And what you're seeing over here is this publish button. So you can preview it, and this will allow only the person logged in to see this, right? It's a draft that no one else in the world can see this. But if we hit the publish button, we're finally going to go live with this thing, and we can actually view the live post. So here's the live post, and here with the formerly drafted post. So now we probably want more content on there than just ADSF, although ADSF is pretty good. All right, so the first thing is create a CodePen post. Check, all done. All right, title it with your name. Check, we've done that. Write a short bio about yourself. Sounds good. All right, bio is written. Number 3, done. All right, describe your goal for web design 1. Easy. My goals are for you, the students, to love web design as much as I do. So much so, it should probably capitalize the W and the D there because they're probably proper nouns. Good? All right. If you had to pick, are you more of a designer E type or a developer E type? I'm going to say half and half. Half and half. Because if you've taken any class with me, right, design and code are one and the same. So I'm going to take the easy way out and say design and code complement each other. So now what we're looking at here is just plain old content. It's just content. It's not formatted in any way. So if we go ahead and hit update on this and we can refresh our posts, we can see that we've added to our page. So here's some content. But other than the line breaks here between the paragraphs, this isn't formatted in any way. And this is what we're doing with HTML. With HTML, we're saying, hey, make this bold, make this underlined, make this have more semantic value than what is there. Well, right now it's just all plain text. And what we want to do is do very small stuff like make this bold, and hit save on that. And then once we our update on that, we can refresh our page there, and we can see now that that is indeed bolded. And we can do other things like italicize certain words and phrases like so. Good. And notice it's putting this markup around here. Okay, it's putting this syntax in there. And we'll break this down later, but the short version of this is this syntax is called markdown, and markdown becomes markup. And we'll talk about how markdown becomes markup at a later time. But what we need to know right now is taking our plain content and it's wrapping it in this syntax, and this syntax is turning it into bold, is turning it into italics. Okay, so right there. Okay. And then later on we're going to be able to style this. Okay, later on we're going to be able to turn this into a site that is fully designed. And so if I wanted to turn this right here into a block quote, I can simply highlight it and hit that button, and now this greater than or less than, I always get the two mixed up, but this symbol here is going to turn this paragraph right there into a block quote. And that block quote has styling, and later on we're going to be able to go in and restyle this, right? But this is the default styling for this blog post. This is the default fonts and font size for this CodePen blog post. Okay, and that's where CSS comes into play. CSS says we can make this bigger, we can make this smaller, we can change the colors on all this. But for right now, we're focusing on marking up the content. Okay, so if I wanted to do other things like have specific goals, right, I can break this down as into bulleted lists. And you do bulleted lists with asterisks. So here's an asterisk, okay? And we can turn this on and off if we need it. So if I want to do list here for students to love web design as much as I do, that could be 1, right? Learn the medium of the web, right? Empower themselves by coding. All right, we can hit update on that, or I just did a Command S as a shortcut, and we can refresh our page, right? And there we go. We're beginning to slowly mark up what was just blank, plain text content has become to have some semantic value. This is bold, okay? And we'll look at other ways to style our content at another time with CSS. Now that we have that, let's take care of the image. Okay, this part was optional. We did this really quick at the end of class. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your image does exist. All right, so here on my desktop is my awesome Eastern profile image, and this is the image that I want to put on the website. So first off, this is on my local computer, and I want to upload it from my local computer to CodePen. And that right there is not a small thing to overlook, the difference between local versus remote. We do this so often with all of the services that we use, like email or social media, to upload content. But going from local to remote is a key concept that we need to understand with web design. So we're going to go browse for this image, and there it is right there. And then we're going to go to upload it. So it looks like I already have it there, so I'm going to overwrite the existing one. All right, so then once I overwrite the existing one, I can copy the URL. And if I open up a new tab, there is the URL right there specifically for this image. And so now what I want to do is copy that URL, but you're going to see something. If I just paste it in like this, if I just paste it in like so, and go ahead and update this and refresh it, it's just going to give me the plain text string. And what we want to say is take this content, because a URL string is content. Take this content and convert it and mark it up into an image. And to make that conversion from plain content to something other than, and in this case, to an image, we're going to need syntax. And we will talk a lot about syntax versus semantics. And to do that, let's say we forgot that, we can click this button right here. Okay. And this is the syntax to make an image appear. And what I want to be able to do here is understand this. But for right now, we just need to know what to put inside of the syntax. So inside of the square brackets would be the alternative text for this image, or the text that would show up if the image couldn't load. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name in there. And then in between the parentheses, we're going to put the actual path to the image right there. Okay? And I'm putting these extra spaces in there just so we can see it. Okay? So this is the alternative text in the square bracket. This right there is the path to the image. This path right here to the image. And now we can tidy this up, update it, and go refresh our page. And now what it's done is taken this plain text and it's marked it up and converted it into an image. All right, that's it. That's a short version of how to make a CodePen post. A CodePen post can do a lot of different things, but for right now, we're just going to use the basics of this. We want to make sure that our post is public and not private. Go ahead and update that, and then always double check that your URLs are actually working. So because I'm logged in, I'm always going to be able to see everything. So a good way to check is to open in a tab that is in incognito mode, or it is not logged in. You can even copy and paste this into a new browser. and go ahead and check that link, and it is indeed working. Notice that I am not logged in, but I can still see the content, and this is the URL that you're going to submit for your assignments. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.